Unless it is a threat to us.
So Hitler in Germany, not a threat to us in the beginning, but executing people all day long, you would have let him go.
That's not true. Hitler, with Japan, attacked the United States.
No, before, from 33 until 41, he was an imminent threat to the United States.
There's a lot of things we should have done.
You would have removed Hitler, though, right?
I wouldn't even have allowed him to come to power.
Oh, you wouldn't have. If that was a preemption for Michael Moore, you would have invaded.
If we'd done our job, and you want to get into talking about what happened after World War I?
Listen, I'm telling you.
Whoa, I'm trying to stop this war right now.
I know you are, but you're basically
saying... Are you against that? Stopping this war? Stopping this war?
No, we cannot leave Iraq right now.
So you would sacrifice your child to secure Fallujah? I want to hear you say that.
I would sacrifice myself.
No, your child.
Myself.
It's Bush sending the children there.
Myself.
Not you and I don't go to wars because we're too old.
Because if we back out of there, there'll be more deaths, and you know it.
Would you? I want to hear you say, I, Bill O'Reilly, would sacrifice my child to secure Fallujah.
I'm not going to say what you say. That's
you don't believe that. Why should Bush sacrifice the children of people across America for this?
It's a worldwide war on terrorism. I know that escapes
Wait a minute. Terrorism?
Yeah.
Iraq?
Terrorism. Correct. There are terrorists in Iraq. Yeah.
Oh, real? Oh, so Iraq now is now responsible for the terrorism here.
Iraq aided terrorists. Don't you know anything about Hezbollah, Hamas, any of that? Do you know anything about that?
So you're saying Iraq is responsible for what?
I'm saying that Saddam Hussein aided terrorists all day long.
You're not going to get me to defend Saddam Hussein.
I'm not. You're his biggest defender in the media.
Well, now you know
you want us to pull.
Come on.
If you were running, he'd still be sitting there.
How do you know that?
If you were running the country,
are you kidding?
He'd still be sitting there.
How do you know that?
You wouldn't have removed him?
Look, let me tell you something.
Would you have removed him?
Listen, I'll answer your question. In the 1990s, look at all the brutal dictators that were removed. Things were done. You take it to any of a number of countries, whether it's Eastern Europe, the people rose up. South Africa, the whole world boycotted South Africa.
When Reagan was building up the arms, you were against that.
And the dictators were gone.
When Reagan was building up the arms, you were against that.
Building up the arms did not cause the fall of Eastern Europe.
Of course it did. It bankrupted the Soviet Union and it collapsed.
The people rose up.
Yeah, why? Because the Soviet Union was bankrupt.
We did in our country. That we had our revolution and people rose up.
All right.
That's how you. Let me ask you this question though.
One more.
How do you deliver democracy to a country? You don't do it through the barrel of a gun, do you? That's not how you deliver it.
You give the people some kind of self-determination, which they never would have had under Saddam.
Why didn't they rise up?
But let me just tell you, because they couldn't. It was a Gestapo-led place when they got their heads cut off and they went sideways.
That's true in many countries throughout the world. And you know what people have done? They've risen up. And you can do it in a number of ways. You can do it our way, through a violent revolution, which we won.
Propaganda.
The French did it that way. You can do it by boycotting South Africa, and you can overthrow the dictator there. There's many ways to do it.
I'm glad we had this discussion because it just shows you that I see the world my way, you see the world your way, all right? And then we can let the audience who's watching us here decide who's right and who's wrong. And that's the fair way to do it, correct?
Right. I would not sacrifice my child to secure Fallujah, and you would?
Again, I would sacrifice myself.
You wouldn't send another parent's child to Fallujah, would you? You would sacrifice your life to secure Fallujah?
I would.
When can we sign him up?
That's right. You'd love to get rid of me.
Sign him up right now.
You'd love to get rid of me.
Where's the recruiter? No, I don't want. I want you to live. I want you to live.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Michael Moore, everybody. There he is. All right. Now, what I find really striking about that conversation was no matter how much evidence that we produced, no matter how many people say both President Clinton and President Bush genuinely believe Saddam had WMDs based on intelligence, you will never, ever get a Bush hater to concede lies we're not told. That, ladies and gentlemen, is blind ideology. And blind ideology is never good on either side. We do appreciate Moore coming on in here. He knew what he was in for, and we hope you enjoyed that interview. And tomorrow on the email segment, we're going to read a lot of your reaction to it, so let us know, all right? Now, we'll be back in a moment with your mail, the most ridiculous item, and another surprise.